Imagine this. You're standing under the African sun 60,000 years ago. No sunscreen, no hats, no shade for miles. And somehow, your skin isn't burning. It isn't blistering. It's protecting you like armor. Now imagine, thousands of years later, your great-great-great-grandchildren are standing in the freezing fog of Northern Europe. And their skin looks nothing like yours. Same species, same family tree, completely different skin. What happened in between is one of the wildest survival stories in human history. And stay till the end, because the last part of this story will completely change how you think about your own skin, your own ancestors, and honestly, how you think about human beings in general. So let's rewind. Way back. Before clothes, before houses, before fire was even a daily habit, back to a time when our ancestors looked a lot more like apes than humans. And here's the twist nobody expects. Our earliest ancestors were not dark-skinned. Underneath all that body hair, their skin was actually pale. Just like a chimpanzee's skin is pale under its fur. Hair was doing the protecting, not skin. So if hair was the shield, what happened next changed everything. At some point, our ancestors started losing their body hair. Nobody knows the exact day it happened, obviously, but scientists believe it was tied to something surprisingly simple. Sweat. Picture this. Early humans were starting to hunt in a brand new way, not ambushing animals, chasing them for hours across open blazing grassland. This is called endurance hunting, and it is exactly what it sounds like. Humans literally running prey animals to exhaustion. A cheetah is faster than a human in a sprint, but a cheetah overheats in minutes. A human with the right body can keep going for hours. But there was a problem. A body covered in thick fur cannot cool down fast. Try running a marathon in a winter coat and you'll understand instantly. So evolution made a trade. Less hair, more sweat glands, millions of them. Humans became one of the best cooling machines on the planet. Here's where it gets dangerous though. Losing the fur meant something else was suddenly exposed for the first time. Bare skin directly under a brutal equatorial sun all day long. And that's when the real crisis began. Underneath your skin, you have something called folate. It's a nutrient your body desperately needs. It helps cells divide properly. It's critical for having healthy babies. And here's the shocking part. Strong ultraviolet rays from the sun can literally destroy folate in your bloodstream. So now imagine you're an early human. You've lost your fur to survive the hunt. But that same sun that helped you hunt is now silently wrecking a nutrient your unborn children need to survive. Nature doesn't wait around for a solution, it builds one. Skin, over many, many generations, began producing more melanin. Melanin is basically a natural sunscreen your body makes itself. The more melanin, the darker the skin, and the stronger the shield against UV rays. So dark skin wasn't just a look, it was survival gear. It was the difference between having healthy children and not having any at all. This is the part that blows people's minds. Dark skin isn't some later addition to humanity. It was one of the very first survival upgrades our species ever developed. For most of human history, dark skin was the default. It was the original human skin. So then, why does half the world today have light skin? This is where the story takes a sharp turn. Around 100,000 years ago, give or take, small groups of humans began doing something incredibly risky. They started walking out of Africa. Not for adventure, for survival, chasing food, escaping drought, following animals migrating to new lands. And as they walked further and further from the equator, something strange started happening to the sunlight around them. Think about the difference between standing outside at noon near the equator versus standing outside in, say, Scotland in December. The equator gets slammed with strong, direct sunlight almost year-round. But far from the equator, sunlight comes in at a low angle, weaker, filtered through thicker atmosphere, and for months at a time, barely shows up at all. This mattered more than anyone at the time could have known because of one incredible thing your skin does. It uses sunlight to make vitamin D. Vitamin D is not optional. Without enough of it, your bones become soft and weak. In children, this can cause deformities. It can affect the immune system. It can even affect fertility. For thousands of years, before vitamin D supplements existed, sunlight was pretty much the only reliable source most people had. So picture the problem now. A group of dark-skinned humans, built for blazing equatorial sun, moves into a cold, grey, low sunlight region. Their melanin-heavy skin, which was a lifesaver back home, is now blocking too. And once again, nature didn't hesitate. Over thousands of years, in these low sunlight regions, natural selection started favoring lighter skin. Less melanin meant more UV could get through, which meant more vitamin D could be produced, which meant healthier bones, stronger immune systems, and more surviving children. Generation after generation, in these colder, darker climates, skin gradually lightened. Not because lighter skin was better. Not because of anything to do with intelligence or ability. Purely because of one brutally simple math problem. How much sunlight does your environment give you, and how much melanin do you need to survive on that amount? This single trade-off, UV protection versus vitamin D production, is basically the entire reason human skin color varies around the world today. Near the equator, strong sun favored darker skin. Far from the equator, weak sun favored lighter skin. Everywhere in between, evolution found a balance somewhere in the middle. And here's a detail that surprises almost everyone. This shift wasn't slow and ancient in the way people assume. Some research suggests lighter skin tones in parts of Europe may have spread far more recently than expected, possibly within just the last few thousand years, not tens of thousands. In evolutionary terms, that is shockingly fast. It means the classic pale skin many people picture as ancient and unchanging might actually be one of the newest traits in the entire human story. So let's zoom out for a second, because here is the twist that changes everything. Every single skin tone on Earth today, the darkest and the lightest, and every shade in between, comes from the exact same starting point, the exact same ancestors, the exact same species, solving the exact same problem in different environments. Dark skin is not more ancient in some superior way. Light skin is not more evolved in some superior way. Both are simply two different answers your ancestors' bodies found to survive two very different amounts of sunlight. Skin color isn't a hierarchy. It's a sunlight thermometer written into the human body. It tells a story of migration, of risk, of families walking toward the unknown, and of bodies quietly rewriting themselves generation after generation just to keep their children alive. And that's the part that should really sit with you. Every time you look in the mirror, you're not just looking at your own skin, you're looking at a map drawn by your ancestors' journey across the planet. How much sun they saw, how far they walked, how hard they fought just to survive long enough to have kids who would one day have kids, who would eventually have you. We spend so much time today treating skin color like it divides us. But the real story is the opposite. It's proof that we all came from the same place, facing the same problem, using the same incredible tool, human skin, just adjusting it to wherever life took us. So the next time someone says two people look nothing alike because of their skin tone, remember this. Underneath it all, it's the same species, the same ancient survival instinct, and the same sun writing its story on human skin, just in a different chapter. And that, right there, might be the most human story of all.